20 hours a week. According to a 2012 study done at a Canadian university, it was found that players are expected to commit 20 hours a week to football, between regular morning runs, therapy sessions, study hall, 20 hours of practice, and a spring game. Now that sounds like a full-time job, but no. This is just a general outlook of what it's like to be a college athlete. Now, no one truly knows the complexity that exists behind the scenes in a life of a college athlete, except the athletes themselves and those who work with them. So in order to gain insight for those who are non-athletes like myself, and maybe some of you, I sat down with Mrs. Jennifer Lepore. Mrs. Lepore currently serves as a director of Spartan Academic Support Services, a program here at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, UNCG. Now, this program is specifically designed to facilitate and help college athletes manage their time both academically and athletically. Now, speaking with Mrs. Lepore, I asked her to elaborate on her role as director in terms of duties and responsibilities. She says that as director, she is in charge of all NCAA regulations that students have academically to continue their eligibility. She also offers advising, such as helping them register for the appropriate courses, keeping track of their attendance, and also keeping track of their athletic and academic progress. Now, Mrs. Lepore has held this position for 5 years now at UNCG, but it has not been easy. So she enlightened me on the credentials, as well as the attributes that it takes to be successful in this position. So beginning with the credentials, she says that most positions across the country that are most similar to hers are bachelor's required, master's preferred. Mrs. Lepore herself has 2 bachelor degrees, one in English and one in sociology. Her master's is in higher education. So, in terms of attributes, she says 2 skills are a must. Number 1, time management. Now, not just for the athletes because they have to manage their time academically and athletically, but for herself and her team of coordinators. Mrs. Lepore admits that each week she has to individually meet with almost over 40 students. And she says there's the hassle of complementing their schedule with hers, making availability for them, and messing up her schedule. And on top of that, she has other business operations to attend to as well. Now, the next one is authenticity. Mrs. Lepore says that being genuine is super important, especially when it comes to communicating with the student athletes. She says that the student athletes will open up to you only if they see that you genuinely care about them and their well-being. They are more open to self-disclose information to you if you care about them. Now, self-disclosure is very important. In a study done in 2012 by 3 individuals, it proved that self-disclosure is important in constructing healthy relationships. In fact, self-disclosure helps build trust in relationships, and that is very important in the workplace. Which leads me into my next point, relationships. Mrs. Lepore says that relationships are a key part of being successful in this type of department, where academics and athletics go hand in hand. She specifically says, in any form of athletics, networking and relationship building is most important. So just being able to connect and interact with these athletes as well as your colleagues is extremely important for team building skills as well as your communication skills. Mrs. Lepore values building trust with the students and just reciprocating self-disclosure as a whole. And through speaking with Mrs. Lepore, I found that she was extremely passionate about her position. So I asked her, what inspired her to pursue such a position? And she reveals to me that she was a student athlete herself. In fact, she was a college athlete at a Division II institution in New York City. But she admits that there wasn't enough academic support there, like programs such as Spartan Academic Support Services available to student athletes. And she says she's always valued education and academics, and along with her passion for sports. And so she says that this position here at UNCG, it gives her the opportunity to marry both passions of academics and athletics together. Overall, Mrs. Lepore has opened my eyes to many things. One being that college athletes are held to extreme standards. They're expected to commit at least 20 hours per week to their athletic careers. What is that? Is basketball, baseball, soccer, hockey, whatever. And the other 20 hours or so is aimed for academics and other necessities, such as eating, sleeping, studying, sleeping. They have a lot on their plate, and having individuals like Mrs. Lepore and her team of coordinators is extremely critical for their success. They have people there to keep them on track, to help them figure things out, and they don't have to be there alone. But one thing that Mrs. Lepore said, and that resonated with me, and I'm sure would resonate with individuals who are pursuing similar careers. In closing, she says, building relationships with your colleagues, with the student athletes, and the coaches is what's going to give you longevity in this type of career.